First of all, let's check all the equipment. 2 hot plate stirrers, 4 stir bars, 5 beakers and 1 set of labels, 1 ruler and 2 stirring rods, 2 thermometers, 1 set of teaspoon, 2 glass jars, sugar, salt, and jelly powder. Now we are going to do the first experiment. First of all, add 100 ml of water into the 2 beakers. Take out 1 thermometer to see the temperature of the water in the first beaker. Take out the other thermometer to see the temperature of the water in the other beaker. See the scales on the thermometers. Write down the temperatures on the labels and stick the labels on the beakers separately. Take out 2 stir bars. Put 1 stir bar into 1 beaker. Now, we will use the smallest teaspoon in the spoon set. And then, take some salt by the smallest teaspoon. Use a ruler to remove the heaped salts and make a 1 level teaspoon of salt. Add the salt into the first beaker. After clean the teaspoon by tissue, use the same way to make 1 level teaspoon of sugar. Add the sugar into the other beaker. And then, turn on the stirrer. After the salt and the sugar dissolved in the water thoroughly, turn off the stirrer. And then, observe whether there is salt and sugar particles in the water or not. Observe and record your result on your worksheet. Then, use the same way to put sugar and salt into the 2 beakers until the salt and the sugar cannot dissolve in the water anymore. Please watch the reminder video before doing the experiment. Don't forget to observe and record the results all the time. Now, we are going to demonstrate the second experiment. Take out 2 beakers that we didn't use in the previous experiment and add 100 ml of water into the 2 beakers separately. And then turn on the heater carefully to heat the water until it reaches 60 degrees Celsius. When the temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius, take out the thermometer and turn off the heater. Use the other thermometer to see the temperature of the water in the other beaker. Write down the temperature on the labels and stick the labels on the two beakers separately. Take out two stir bars. Put one stir bar into one beaker. Take out the smallest teaspoon in the spoon set. And then, take some salt by the smallest teaspoon. Use the ruler to remove the heaped salt to make one level teaspoon of salt. And then, add the salt into the first beaker. Clean the spoon by tissue and use the same way to make one level teaspoon of sugar. And then, add the sugar into the other beaker. Turn on the two stirrers. When the salt and the sugar dissolved in the water thoroughly, turn off the stirrers. Observe whether there is salt and sugar particle left in the water or not. Observe and record the result of the experiment. Repeat adding salt and sugar by the same way until the salt and sugar cannot dissolve in the water anymore. Please watch the reminder video before doing the experiment. Don't forget to observe and record the result all the time. Now, we are going to demonstrate the third experiment. Put 100 ml of hot water into the jar separately. Take out the labels. Write down 4 by 2.5 ml on one label and 8 by 2.5 ml on another, and stick the labels on the two glass jars. Take out the second smallest teaspoon in the spoon set, 2.5 ml. Take some jelly powder by that spoon. Take out the ruler to remove heaped powder, and make one level of teaspoon powder. Add the jelly powder into the first glass jar. Use the same teaspoon and the same way to make one level teaspoon of jelly powder. Put the jelly powder into the other glass jar. Remember to add 4 teaspoons of powder in that jar and 8 teaspoons of powder in the other. Take out one stirring rod and use that rod to stir the powder until the jelly powder dissolves in the water thoroughly. Take out the other stirring rod and use the rod to stir the powder in the water of the other jar. Make sure all the powder dissolves in the water thoroughly. Cool down the jelly water until it turns into solid states. Touch the jelly to feel the difference of the hardness. Please watch the reminder video before doing the experiment. Don't forget to observe and record the result all the time.